This is a video artifact for Organizational 4343. When I first began this course, I don't think I could have told you the formal types of organizational change, but I probably could have described them in the smallest forms, such as slow or rapid, gradual, radical. I probably could have described how I would have dealt with each type, but not from a change agent perspective, because in my role I only assist with facilitation of change for myself, not others. Still, understanding how to move from a highly reactive type of organization to one that has a more stable and planned development allows for me to be an asset to our organization, or a larger asset anyway, when there is that type of organizational-wide change as the company evolves to different levels in their life cycle. Or to a different level in their life cycle anyway. In order to be a change agent, you would have to understand how to get buy-in from the customer. In my case, it would be my management and team, and I would have to know how to build trust that's necessary to be a change agent. If you're going to be successful as a change agent, trust is probably number one important issue. There's more to that than just having an established relationship, though. While I already have an established relationship with my group and could facilitate change, there are tools that have to be honed that I probably was not fully using or even aware of, and some of my group are just doers. They need very little motivation to accept change, only to know what the process will be now and how they will relate to the other groups now instead of what they were relating, or how they were relating, what the old process was. But some in my group, if assessed for readiness for change, would be better served by probably using a checklist first before discussing those changes, so it can be couched in a way that they would have time to accept the change and ask as many questions as possible to build buy-in, to transform them into one who is actively cheering that change on. There are some very good tools for use as a change agent in the courses that I've taken. I don't feel that I was very good listener before, and I always try to remind myself now at the beginning of a conversation to just listen first. In every organization, there are going to be an environment for change, and change is happening all the time. So it's more beneficial to understand the impact that each one of those types of environments for change would or could have within your organization. And analysis is one way that you could plan for the impact of each of those types of changes. In my current environment, political factors can be both big and small, can directly affect change within our organization, as well as economic influences, for sure. There are also no small effects that social trends and technology can have. We typically allow devices, or we typically do not allow devices that can record, but our IT department quickly realized that they had to plan for new directives and policies, because very few cell phone devices do not have that capability not installed, right? All of them do. So those types of changes should or could be planned for, and you have to be able to recognize in advance, and allows you for a quicker transition to that change. I feel that my grasp of these types of changes were already pretty firm when I began this course. Always good to see it from a different perspective. Conflict can be good, bad, or ugly, and it can be managed in a good, bad, or ugly way. We generally do not look at conflict as an opportunity. Most people don't. We tend to think about conflict as an unpleasant, counterproductive, time-consuming, and I think I pretty much felt that way when I began this degree course. What I found was that conflict can stimulate learning and change. It can rebuff lethargy and a tendency sometimes toward a groupthink environment. The best part is that I can encourage, it can encourage innovation by forcing people to look for a solution to their problem instead of just bickering about it. It forces them to think outside the box. And by using conflict, you can actually facilitate accommodation for both parties, a mutual accommodation, while they're exploring resolutions of their differences, right? For example, our executive teams have experienced rapid change lately. Most of our organizations have had to make constant adjustments to that rapid change. During this process, there's been higher conflict, and in some cases, the areas that have experienced more conflict have actually performed better than those that had little conflict or made little impact on them at all. And that's because out of that conflict, they have gained an actual deeper understanding of some of the issues so they can come to a more creative decision for the problems that occur out of that conflict, right? So I found from this course that the way to not handle conflict is avoidance by non-action, administratively orbiting by acknowledging and not acting still, and by keeping the conflict under wraps, never a good thing. Or in some instances, there were people who were actually leaning on their power to suppress the conflict. So that's not good. Those are not good ways to handle that conflict. So it's not just about learning good ways, but also understanding the ways to not handle conflict and conflict resolution. The fundamental theories of leadership are basically trait, skills, contingency, path, goal, transformational, transactional, and servant leadership. And I definitely would not have known all those types of leadership theories when I began my degree plan. Some, but not most. Understanding those theories is important, but leadership style is more important for me. Choosing the right leadership style can help you implement change management successfully in your organization. Managing the change management process involves creating your vision, communicating a plan, evaluating the results as you go forward, and by learning to apply the right leadership style when coping with particular situation can help me become a more effective leader. I don't think that I realized that some of my managers had actually been implementing some of these management styles throughout my career, and I began to start recognizing their different management styles, and it helped me to work out conflicts better, right? Once I understood their styles, it was easier for me to overcome some conflict issues. I think it's very important to know which leadership style to use for each type of employee and for each type of situation. It can be just as important to know what type of leadership you're under, because if you're under an autocratic leader, you may have very little opportunity to lead change yourself if that's what you want to do. I myself am currently under a transactional leadership style. It makes it easier for me to lead change and motivate others, be a leader within my own group. Being able to prepare my group for change by utilizing leadership theories or styles that are appropriate for them or the particular situation can make all the differences in my own success where I work. And that is my video archive, and I appreciate you.